So one of the biggest things I've learned, I've kind of already known this, I've kind of lived my life like this, but the point really got driven home when I moved up here. Neighbors, you know, getting to know your neighbor, being on good terms with your neighbor. In the city it might be a different thing. Sometimes you don't want to know your neighbors. Up here, when you're living secluded like this, you know, it's good to know there's someone close by, you know, and someone to help and someone to ask for advice kind of thing when you need it, and vice versa, right? It becomes a back and forth kind of thing. And especially when you both don't have each other's skill sets, you know, you can add something to their plate and vice versa kind of thing. You know, and once in a while he literally adds stuff to my plate and he'll bring me like potatoes from the garden and stuff. I haven't got that set up yet. That's the next year thing. But anyways, getting to know your neighbor, getting to be on a good terms with them anyways, or her, it's invaluable. So I came here last year in the spring. I was just going to stay the summer, get out of the city, take care of my friend's place, and get away from me all the anxiety and stress and all that, and help my mental health a lot. And it did. So I met my neighbor when I first came. My friends dropped me off. We got introduced to the neighbor and all that, which was great. I'm looking that way because that's where he lives. I should be looking at you. There's that whole give and take thing, and it's been great. We've built a friendship over a year and a half, and he's really helped me out with a lot of things. He's been up here for 35 years, and he's seen a few people on this property come and go thinking they could do this. My friends own it. They're here occasionally, but they want to come up here and retire up here, or move up here, hopefully before they retire. But anyways, that's the game plan. So they've had a few people come up here to live, take care of the property and such. And it hasn't turned out well for most of them kind of thing. They last for a few months or 6 months or whatever. You know, winter usually is the great equalizer kind of thing. I think I'm the first to stay in a 12 by 12 for like a full winter kind of thing for a full year. When I first came up here, he had a pretty good chuckle. You know, and he was looking me up and down kind of thing, trying to size me up, thinking, well, let's see how long this guy lasts kind of thing. So he started coming by once in a while, and he got more curious as he started seeing me actually doing things around the property, not just sitting around. He's helped me with a million things around here in the process. First was just some advice about where to go for water and such like that, and things about the area and stuff. And a little bit of quad advice, having a little bit of trouble here and there. So we'll start with that, yeah. He's helped me with the quad. Many things. Flat tires, he had an air compressor. There was nothing around here. I dealt with a hand pump from a bicycle that I accidentally brought up here, which was a happy accident because it saved my life quite a few times. Well, saved the day quite a few times. So he's helped me with the quad. He's helped me with a little bit of, suddenly it wouldn't start. It was a brake problem. But the one thing I didn't have was brake fluid, and I really couldn't get it online delivered here. And he explained to me and showed me and helped me do the brake fluid thing, because apparently with these quads, if there's no brake pressure, they won't start. So he's helped me with many little problems with that. He's helped me out with wood stove advice. You know, how to load a stove, how to use your damper to keep it to keep your heat more, but still let air go and the smoke go, so it burns all night. Advice on how to deal with the gaskets that were gone here, the leaky pipes. So there was a lot of advice given over months about that. He's given me gas for the quad. Last fall, he helped me out with 2-stroke oil and gave me a container for 1 gallon mixture, so I don't have to do any more math kind of thing. I just fill this container, drop it, and drop the gas in, shake it up, and it's all done. Also gave me bar oil when I ran out last fall, panicking for winter. Plus he gave me lots of chainsaw advice last year. How to clean the air filter when that got clogged, how to tighten my chain properly, all that jazz. Helped me out with problem solving on how to problem solve the spark plug issues I was having. It's a lot of great advice. He'd always explain to me what probably the problem is, and then what the best solution was for me out here, how to go about fixing it. Always worked so far, so it's been great. Really helped me get through last winter with the whole fall thing, because all I had was problems with chainsaws. He brought me chives, man. I just had to plant them in a bucket with some soil. I haven't been doing a great job of keeping it clean from all the grass growing in here. But Annie brought me mint. I think that happened by accident, but there's mint in here too, which is awesome. Tastes pretty awesome to just pull it off and chew on a leaf. But yeah, chives, man. He helped me out with sugar. That time I ran out, and it was minus holy crap outside, and my only way to get some sugar would be to hop on the quad and drive for half an hour in the minus holy crap, like minus 30 I think it was, and get it. So he had some sugar. Helped me out. I didn't have to go out for a few days. I ducked out the cold spell and rode the quad when it was minus 20 instead to get my sugar, because I need sugar in my coffee. Guilty as charged. I'm a junkie. Then there was this. No, not the generator. There was this. He helped me out with the well. So what I'm meaning by this, he gave me a lot of advice first off. When I was thinking about looking here, he kind of agreed with my whole theory about being perpendicular to his well is up here, and I dug down here in our property kind of thing. And I think I hit the same water vein that he's in. So he had a lot of thoughts about that. He let me bounce my ideas off of him. But then, as he saw me digging, he was there. He came by a couple times a day whenever he wasn't working. He checked every day on me to make sure I wasn't stuck in the well, because I was by myself digging, and it was kind of dangerous. Although I know what I'm doing with soil because I spent a couple years waterproofing basements, and I got a good idea what the soil is going to do just by the type of the soil. But also I know what to watch for cave-ins, etc. So on top of checking for me every day, I was talking about buying some pipe and a blue water barrel, which is what I made my rain barrel, which is what I made my well out of, really. And it just so happens he works heavy machinery operator. That's what he does for a living. He's been doing it for like 35 years. He's been up here for 35 years. He's 60, and he's been collecting stuff from job sites, etc. over the years. So now he's getting to that age where he's got to dump some of the stuff he doesn't know what to do with. It never came in handy like he thought it might. So some of it came in handy for me. So he supplied the pipe, 9 feet of pipe, over 12 inches, 12 inch in diameter. It's water pipe from an old city job that it was leftover stuff that was going to be scrapped. So he took it home. He actually had geofabric from a leftover job that he got to take home. And the blue water barrel that he had kicking around for like 20 years that he hasn't done anything with. So he gave me all that free. That was like several $100s worth of materials he gave me. Plus, the quarry that I went and got the gravel from, that's closed down, but there's still gravel there. He gave me the screen I used, 1/4 inch squares in the screen that I used. I rolled up and I sifted all the gravel myself to get rid of any of the sand in between and stuff. So I did that all by hand. He gave me that as well. Plus he told me where the quarry was. So he was great help with the water situation. Plus on top of that, he lent me this bilge pump from a boat and this piece of hose that he's had kicking around, and he uses it to pump stuff for his kiddie pool for his dog, etc. Uses that. So it runs off a 12-volt battery. And the cool thing about that is I have a spare quad battery. I hook it up and boom, could pump my water out before we did the sump pump and the hose running to the cabin. So he helped out with that. Plus, he gave me advice about shocking the system with bleach, which I got a handbook from the government about water when I dropped off my sample to get tested, which they won't test because it smells like sulfur, so they won't test it. I got to send it to a private lab. Although I'm boiling it right now, I'm fine. I haven't been sick, no stomach issues. But anyways, he's the first to talk about that, which I haven't done yet, but I'm about to do that this week, the next day or two. Fill a little bit of bleach, like a little cap full of bleach in the well, let it sit for a day or two, pump it out, let the well refill, let it sit for a day or two, pump it out, possibly do that a second time before you get usable water. The idea is the bleach kills the bacteria, and it's so minimal parts per million that it doesn't hurt you. And the government of Canada actually recommends doing this as a thing with hand dug wells, surprisingly enough. So I'm not doing it all wrong. He helped me move my trailer, the project trailer I bought. He also helped move the old decrepit trailer that was here and pull it all the way back to a clearing about 1 kilometer away on the property, and then back this big 40-foot trailer and put it exactly where I wanted it to be, which is awesome. So he also did that for me. Which brings me to one of the last things, anyways. Brings me to these splitting wedges. I bought this from the yard sale guy. I got 2 of them for 12 bucks, I think. They're heavy, they're iron, they're old school, no plastic coating, but there's no coating to grab on anything once it starts to bust up either. So I had planned to use these because I've got a big pile back there. It's my doesn't want to split pile. Some of them have been sitting since last summer. Most of it's been sitting since last fall. Stuff I just can't split. I take my axe and swing my guts out. I'm cracking it, but it's not giving. I used a big mash. It's not working. The plan was to use these guys. And our friendship has developed. He's been offering me to use some of his stuff. I've held back on really doing that. I don't want to take advantage of the guy or anything, right? But that being said, the other day he was here, and he offered again use of his wood splitter. He's about to take off for a couple weeks. While he was here, I took him up on the offer, and I don't know if he just had enough drinks in him that it kind of put him over the edge, and he went, okay, let's go get her, kind of thing. He's going away, so you know, I can have use of it and cut some other stuff too, take advantage of while I have it while I'm here. It's a big savior for me. So, anyways, that's the big list that my neighbor has helped me out with. And that's what today's video is all about, really.